Well, aloha all, and thank you, Beth. And we're going to jump right in here to what is attribute-based shopping. So if you look at traditional search right now, we're really focusing on getting guests from A to B, and we're not focusing on the experience they want during their journey. So we're really looking at the bare bones material. And when we go to attribute-based shopping, we're really trying to focus on what is that customer's journey experience? What do they want it to be? What do they want their customer experience to be while they're on board? Do they have a specific seat type? Do they want a meal? Do they need 3 bags or 2 bags? Do they need lounge access? Do they need, for COVID, do they feel more comfortable with an empty middle seat or an airline that allows them to not wear a mask? So really, this is what we need from the guests before we create that search request. So that way agencies can better match a guest to the airline so that they're providing that right value match. So if we step back for just a second and look at traditional based search, really we're looking right now, we do attribute based filtering. So what we're doing is we're throwing that kind of traditional search request, getting a whole bunch of data, and then what we're saying, as the folks here at Kayak, I want to filter out anyone who doesn't offer a flexible change or anyone who doesn't offer a flexible cancellation. What we're doing, here is we're excluding data from a data set instead of going out and saying, hey, everyone, give me your best price or your best offer for products that have this included in it. And that's where we need to get that customer value proposition again. So I'm going to run through a quick example here. And this, I think, will make it very clear of why attribute-based shopping makes sense. So if we did this search today on a major OTA, you're going to see 2 prices come back, one from carrier A and one from carrier B, names withheld to protect the innocents. And carrier A comes back at $412, carrier B at $417. So of course, carrier A takes the first search result position. Carrier B comes in 11th, well below the fold, very unlikely to get chosen. But what we didn't know is that guest actually wants a second bag included, and he also wants a meal included. So when we actually tally all that post-ticketing purchases up, they're actually paying $16 more by taking that deal on carrier A. And really what we're finding there is, though that's hard to compare, it's really difficult for the guests, especially in a world where fewer and fewer are going through travel agencies, because that used to be the forte of the travel agent. So if we put this into an attribute-based search model, if they gave us all this information up front, what we would see is carrier B come out on top. Now, carrier A may have actually done a bundled offer, which would completely change. But if we just did the same data, carrier B would have got the value for the customer and been able to better articulate their brand and their product. So this is really why attribute-based shopping makes sense, but it's difficult. So let's look at a few other shopping methods. And we'll see what else is out there. So we have affinity-based search. So affinity-based search, we have an example from Lufthansa United, is really where we say, hey, I'm in Honolulu, I want to go skiing. Help me know where to go. Again, what we're doing here is really taking the role of what travel agents used to do and trying to help that guest kind of through that dreaming phase. This is very handy, especially on direct websites where we're trying to help the guests with that. The next sort of search we have is extreme or big data search. This is courtesy of Google, and this is really where I'm saying I got $800. Where can I go in the world? Again, kind of taking that role of the travel agent where I used to walk in, sit down, tell a travel agent that I got $800. Where can I go? And get some help out. The only downside of this, this is really cutting edge. It takes a lot of processing power. It's not for everyone. Hopefully we'll see more of it in the future, but right now it's still experimental. If we look at what other retailers are doing out there, they're focusing a lot on AI machine-based learning. And they're really actually trying to skip the search step. So they're trying to actually say, hey, I know when you come to me, you're going to want a shirt, and you like brown shirts that are made out of polyester. Here's a brown polyester shirt that you may like. And then, some airlines are trying to move that way. So I wanted to throw out some considerations here that everyone can think of. So, if you look at your tech, most leading shopping engines are not ready for attribute-based search yet. So this is still cutting edge. You may have to work through the bugs on this. There's lots of talk about it in the hospitality world, but there are very few implementations. It's even hotter in the hotel world than it is in the airline world. And if you look at affinity-based search, that was brought out in 2009, and we're only seeing a handful of carriers doing it. So that's over 11 years, and we're still only seeing a very limited number do this because it is complex. There's data questions, industry questions to solve. What attributes do we search on? How do we standardize that? How do we define that, meal versus snack? And which data sources? Do you grab a data source like ATP Goes Route Happy, or do you do direct from NDC? And last, what's your airline's focus? I know if you're an NDC carrier, you're probably focused on optimizing search time. So you're bringing that data quicker and faster and getting it back to your partners. I know that's what we're focused on at Hawaiian right now in our indirect channel. How do we optimize that? And, or do you just want to go to that AI machine learning and really skip the whole search? Is that where you want to focus? So there's a lot of things to think about out there. So just a teaser, but now I want to go to the poll. So really with our poll, we want to look at what are your search priorities right now? Are you on attribute-based search, affinity, big data, AI machine learning, or what the heck? Who's got money for any of this? We're trying to rub two pennies together. So I'll give you about 30 seconds to respond back on our poll here. We're seeing attribute-based search and AI machine learning. Very interesting. No one's trying to save their money. So that's good news for the shopping engine providers out there. Thank you very much, everyone. Mahalo for your time, and I'm going to pass it back to Beth.